risky from a political perspective. If they do go deep, that's where they'll suffer the most severe casualties, the Israeli soldiers. That's where the Palestinian snipers will have more chances to hit more targets, to kill more Israeli soldiers. This is why Israel until now has been hesitant to go into phase 3, which is the deep ground incursion. As we said before, the Israelis could lose a lot from this incursion. The rival of the current political leadership, Benjamin Netanyahu, the head of the Likud party, is still ahead. He's still ahead of Tzipi Livni and Ehud Barak in the opinion polls, although they have catched up to him after this military invasion or this military campaign begun. So if they in fact do go ahead with stage 3, deep into Gaza, and if they suffer casualties as what is expected, they are expected to suffer casualties just like what happened in the July 2006 war when Israel suffered severely when it went on to the ground invasion. This same thing could happen now if it goes into a deep ground invasion into Gaza, meaning that Livni and Barak would lose all the support that they gained ever since this military campaign actually begun. So it's still not clear if Israel is going to go ahead with stage 3, but nevertheless, if it does not go ahead, these air raids are very, very likely to continue.
Ali, let me just jump in again. I am sorry, but again, more happening on the ground in Gaza. We just had 2 very large explosions, so at this point, we will get back to you, Ali, but at this point I'd like to go to Shireen Yassin on the northern border with Israel and Gaza. Shireen, what is happening? What can you see where you are? Because we're seeing and hearing a sudden escalation.
Yes, exactly. This is an obvious escalation. Israel has started intensifying its bombardment of the Gaza Strip. This is behind me, the northern Gazan city of Beit Hanun, where we just heard a few big blasts lately right now, and we can see from here white smoke coming out of some areas, and now it's black smoke, which means that there has been an air raid over there right now. Israel has announced that it carried out over 40 strikes against the Gaza Strip today, only today. This, of course, this is an obvious translation of the cabinet's meeting today that has just ended, the security meeting of the Israeli cabinet, where they decided that Israel will go on with its grand operation against the Gaza Strip, and said that the United Nations resolution is not workable for Israel, and that Israel is the only party that can decide that can make decisions. The decision maker here is Israel. This is what the security cabinet meeting has decided today. So obviously there are clashes over there. We've been hearing gunfire, heavy artillery bombing the Gaza Strip. This is, as I said, Beit Hanun. So Israel said that it targeted an Islamic Jihad leader over there in this city, and that it's continuing its bombardment of this city.
Shireen, you talked about cabinet meeting. Can you tell us about that in more detail?
Well, Israel has been making some meetings and convening. The Israeli cabinet meeting has been convening for the past 2 weeks, actually, to discuss the fate of the Gaza Strip, and whether, right now the question was whether to expand the ground operation inside Gaza or to be committed, or to commit itself to the United Nations resolution that called for stopping the fire, stopping violence as well in the Gaza Strip. So Israel said that it is the sole decision maker here in this matter. Some Israeli members of parliament said that if Israel decided to stop the war in the Gaza Strip, this means that this is going to be a defeat for the Israeli army that started this operation. Operation Cast Lead started 2 weeks ago, and until now Israel did not finish the goal, didn't achieve its goal. The reason behind going inside the Gaza Strip is still ambiguous for us, really, but Israel said that it did not finish the job inside the Gaza Strip, and until now the Israeli cabinet decided to expand its operations to go to phase number 3, which is going inside built-up areas inside the Gaza Strip. This means expanding its operation, its ground operation, pushing more Israeli soldiers inside the Gaza Strip, and recruiting the Navy, the Air Force, the Israeli infantry, which is going to push more army and military men inside the Gaza Strip in the coming few days.
And Shireen, finally, public opinion, how's that standing in Israel? Because we know that's vital for the operation on the ground.
Yes, well, we should remember that in 4 weeks' time, Israel will witness the internal elections right here, which might be postponed, by the way. But the Israeli opinion poll and public opinion here shows that the Israel Defense Minister's support for Ehud Barak has been increasing lately because of this war. So Israelis feel that it is important for them. This war has been a very important step for Israel in order to stop the rockets fired at Israel. Today there has been at least 20 rockets fired towards the Israeli western Negev cities. So this means that the operation did not stop the rockets. This means that the operation will continue, and the Israeli public trusts the army. Until now, the Israeli public is behind the army, most of them at least, because we're going to see on Saturday a huge demonstration in Tel Aviv for the peacemakers, or for the leftists, let's say, in Israel, which do not exceed 20% inside Israel. They're going to have a demonstration tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening at 7:30 our local time here. And they're going to ask Israel to stop its operation inside the Gaza Strip. It's only 20% of the whole Israeli public, which means about 80% of the Israelis are behind this operation and trust the Israeli army in going inside the Gaza Strip.
Okay, Shireen, thanks for that update. We'll speak to you again in the near future. But let's get some in-depth analysis in terms of the military aspect of this with Dr. Elias Hanar, a military expert, joining us from Beirut. Dr. Hanar, can you just explain to us what we're seeing right now, the identification of any of the weapons being used, and also what would phase 3 of an Israeli operation include?
I think that the UN Security Council Resolution 1860 does not please any party, neither Hamas nor the Israelis, so that's why we are seeing more shelling and more firing missiles into, the inside of Israel. I think that the first step of the war on Gaza was the air campaign. From this perspective, we don't know yet how much it achieved, but we are sure that we cannot conclude a war and achieve political goals through an air campaign alone.